This is part 2 of my interview with Ada from The Running Fish. So do you think Guatemala is going to open on the 2nd of September? Let's follow along. The 2nd, September 2nd.
Yeah, actually, everything here is never clear. Yeah. Because like you can book, right? But they can tell that I'm going to cancel it.
Oh, you know? This is what I really wanted to find out from you, because I find it very difficult to see that they're going to open on September 2nd or 15th or 30th. I don't see how they're going to do it if they're still in a state of calamity. And most of the cities, I just read another article where most of the cities are still in red according to their traffic light system, you know, for the virus. So I don't see how they're going to open. What do you think? Do you believe they may open for international flights in September, anytime in September?
No. I think they're going to open like step by step, maybe from local flight first, and then flight to other Central America countries like the neighbors. Yeah. And then to international. And the other thing is, do you think there are going to be a lot of travelers coming to Guatemala? Because I think people may be a bit suffering in their financial status at this moment, because a lot of people don't have jobs, or, you know. So, and Christmas is coming, right? But Christmas is in December. So I see, even though they open it, there's going to be a lot of travelers, but maybe in December, in Christmas. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. but yeah, and yeah, I just don't see that, even though they have international flights, there's going to be a lot of people coming to Guatemala, except those people who have been living here for a long time and they don't have a residency. They will just come back.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What type of visa do you have, by the way, if you've been there since last fall?
I am holding a tourist visa, but the government said that, like, for people like us, because if you use a tourist visa in Guatemala, every time it's 90 days, right? You can only renew it once. Okay. So in total, you can stay here for 180 days. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And after that, you cannot renew it anymore. You have to leave, right? But in this situation, we are allowed to stay here without a visa. So I'm still staying here as a legal tourist. Uh-huh. But the immigration office is open again. So a lot of people are just wondering if they need to renew their visa, but there's nothing clear. Nothing has been said, because before the government said that we can stay here till we can still stay here legally during the calamity, during the state of calamity, which is September 5th. And after that, don't know, because if you don't have visa, when you exit, you just pay like $2 a day.
Mm-hmm. Well, is it like Southeast Asia, where you can leave Vietnam and go to Laos? I mean, can you just go to Mexico and come right back?
You can say that. Thing is like after that, if they still allow foreigners to come in, yes. Mm-hmm. Because I did that once before. I went back to Mexico in November to see the Day of Death, and then I come back. That's okay.
Okay. Yeah. It's things are going to change, but you've heard it here. When I asked her the question, do you think they're going to open in September at all? Nope. And I'm thinking there's absolutely no way that they can open in a state of calamity. I mean, that word calamity means something to me. It's like, how can you reopen? Now, here's one thing that I did find out looking at the numbers. For instance, on the red section was San Antonio Polopo, right at Lake Atitlan. And it said that they were red. You know how many people it took for that to be red? They had 4 people, because their cases jumped from like 2 to 4.
Like they give a percentage, eh?
Yeah, so it's for the people.
It's crazy.
Yeah, so
It's
they only
crazy.
did 10 tests that showed that 40% were positive. So they're not doing tests. So how, yeah, let me ask you that. How is the testing procedures going there? Are they actually set up in the clinics? Does a van drive by? Do you have to be sick to get tested?
I really, really have no idea. I really have no idea about it because I heard that, well, when the case go up when they have the test. If they don't do the test, it's actually same as every other country. If they don't do the test, the active cases is going to stay the same. You know, so actually you don't know how many people have the virus. You never know. And because the country actually was shut down at the very, very early stage when there was only single digits of case. But the highest point was like 20,000 something, and until yesterday, it was 8,800 in total. So why it happened like that? What I heard is because a lot of Guatemalan got deported from the States, and so they are the source.
Well, 15% I read from United States sending people back positive. 15%, that's a lot.
Because they was not supposed to. They was not supposed to send people with virus.
Yeah, well, I did that in a story a month or so ago. Posed a test, but we didn't. I don't see we did.
And the others, maybe I can share another story. Because in my school, there was another student from the States. And because I contact her after she went back home, I just want to check if she's okay. And then I asked her, like, how is it like? Because she was so panicked about this thing happen. And then because if you go to Southeast Asia, definitely you are forced to have quarantine for 14 days, either in your own home, or if you're a tourist, they're going to have a place for you to live and you need to pay for it for 14 days, definitely. So I asked her, like, how's the procedure? What did you do? She said nothing. They didn't ask her to stay at home. It's just, she just passed through the custom and go back home. That's it.
And where is she?
Nothing. She was in, she lived in, I think she lived in Ohio. So she went back from Guatemala to Ohio.
Ohio in the States?
And she did, yeah.
Okay.
And she didn't do any tests, and they didn't ask her to do quarantine, nothing. Yeah.
The U.S. is wholly inadequate in this. We're not testing. We don't even test temperatures. The government here, the federal government, is fighting to test temperatures at the airport. When Guatemala did it for us at the beginning of March, before this broke.
I'm quite impressed with the president. He has been very, very careful.
Yeah,
he's a new president. I feel sorry for him. Like before he could get any benefit from the country, he needs to take care of something like this.
As soon as he was elected last year,
and actually I saw the election as well. I was here already.
Oh, really? So what do the people there think about the president?
Well, I think for them, because I talked to my Spanish teacher, and then she told me it's like, I don't know if it's true because I don't know about the history about Guatemala. What she told me is that, like, when they finish their service, do you call it service? They just leave the country. They cannot stay because of the corruption and all those stuff, political thing. After they finish a few years, they have to leave. They won't stay here anymore. So I don't know if they have different hopes for this president or not, or they just think that, just another president. Yeah, but it's so interesting is that maybe 1 or 2 days before the election, in Guatemala, they're not allowed to sell alcohol.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, what?
To make sure you're sober.
Yeah, it's a very interesting. Yeah, it's a very interesting thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you think he's doing a good job, though? If you say every Sunday he gets on TV and he gives an update
No,
and tells you.
Actually, at the beginning, he was giving a speech almost every single day.
Okay.
But now I think it's only on Sunday to give an update of the policy and stuff. Actually, he just came out to calm down the people because a lot of people lost their job. A lot of people relies on tourism. Yeah. And I don't see a lot of white flag in Shella because it's a big city. But from what I've seen on Facebook or news, there's a lot of white flags in villages.
Okay, just for those who are not familiar with the white flag, can you explain to them what the white flag means?
Actually, I didn't know what white flag means at the beginning, but now I understand that it's more like they asking for help. It means that they have no money, they have no food, they're asking for help. Because as you might know, families here, they always have a lot of children, a lot of young children, at least 3 of them. And then recently I read a post saying that in Pacaya volcano is a tourist area. Because they don't only feed their family, they need to feed the horses and the dogs, which work for them in a volcano area. So a group of expats, they were doing some fundraising and send them food over there. Actually, there are lots of fundraising on GoFundMe.com. Like raising money for people around the Antigua area, raising money on the lake area, as well as Pacaya or other villages. Okay. There's a lot of them. Yeah. So if anyone who have been here and love the country and would like to help, yes, there's so many ways. Because people just eat something very basic here, and even though $20, it can help them a lot to buy a lot of groceries. They just need like maize, like corns, rice, beans, bit of coffee. They just they live in a very, very simple way. If anyone can have some extra money to give a helping hand, it would be great.
Yeah, that brings up the question also, are the mercados open?
Yes, market, yes. I filmed a video about it earlier. Markets is open, but that's in my area, that's around 3 markets, but that's more than that. But I'm talking about walking distance. I'm in Zone 1, which is in downtown. The one that I usually go is smaller, but I think maybe only 1/3 to half of the vendors are doing the business. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's not as busy as before, because before I was a little bit hesitant to go there because, well, I went to the supermarket a lot because they check the temperature, you clean the hands, and they control the amount of people going in. So I feel much safer, and especially if I want to get meat or other stuff, I just feel much safer. But recently I go back to the market because it's not that busy. So that's okay. Yeah. They have like the plastic screen in front of each vendor, and they put on mask, they put on face shield, but there's always a little corner for selling something like a restaurant. But those people don't get many business. They don't, because they don't have a lot of tables. I saw that they were adding a plastic screen on their small tables. They want to have more customers, but no, not really. Yeah.
It's strange. So you have traveled a lot. Sounds like you've traveled. Well, let me find out this. Where have you traveled in Guatemala? What cities have you seen? Did you climb Pacaya?
Sort of. I hire a horse and then I climb the other 10, 20 minutes.
Okay. we were determined not to take the horse.
Because the week before, I went to Acatalango, which I climbed for, I think, maybe 5 hours to go up. So I was a bit exhausted and the weather was bad. I couldn't see anything. So I decided I need to see something from the volcano, but I don't want to walk.
Exactly.
Because I wasn't recovered yet. So I went to Pacaya. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah.
So where else? You said you were going to Tikal, but you didn't make it.
No, only forest. Only because if you go to Tikal, you have to stop at forest. So I went to one archaeological site in forest. I couldn't remember the name because it's quite difficult to pronounce. But I made a video about it. Yes, and also some small towns on the lake, because besides San Pedro, there's also San Juan, Panahache, and so on and so forth. Yeah.
Yeah. Anywhere else? Guatemala City?
Guatemala City, I only went there once to do my visa because I know you went to Guatemala City. And how do you feel about it?
I mean, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. We were off of Sexta, so we were in a pretty busy area. So there was no fear of danger. They say the neighborhood used to be worse, but I mean, I felt comfortable. You didn't feel that way?
Because I was always in a Wuba. I never walk alone on the street. And I saw that, it's quite developed. It looks pretty nice. Hi. And I talked to every Uber driver and asked them, okay, is your city safe? And most of them told me that they would told me different songs. Yeah. Okay, some songs are safe, some are not. Yeah. And most of them, they would say that, it's dangerous. So I was a bit hesitant to go around because I just want to do my visa. So, yeah.
I got you. So you've been through Mexico and Guatemala. Where else in the world? What other countries have you been to?
In this trip, I went to Cuba for a month, mostly in Havana. And before that, mostly I traveled in Asia. Most of the country in Asia, I've been there. For example, Malaysia and Singapore, which was my first overseas trip alone. And because back in that time, there was no smartphone. So I was traveling by myself without smartphone. I don't think I can do it again, ever again. Because it was a first trip. I didn't have like too much money. I didn't even buy a Lonely Planet. I was just borrow a Lonely Planet from the library and make copies of it. So yeah, so cheap. So and then I used and then I took a van from Singapore to Malaysia overnight, and then the next day I woke up, I switched on the TV, I saw that's a 911. Yeah, so that was in 911. The accident.
That's when that was. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, what's going on? So that was like quite a long time ago. And then I've been to Japan, Korea, Taiwan, which was one of my favorite places in the world. Myanmar is amazing. It's very different than other Southeast Asia country. Thailand, Indonesia, China, also back in the days, UK, Tunisia, of course the States and Canada. Yeah, pretty much it.
Okay, well that's enough. That's a lot. Now, out of all the places that you've been, what's your favorite? What one place, if you had to go back to, what one place would you want to go to?
Actually, I would like to live in Mexico for a long time though.
Okay, so your Spanish is coming along then.
No, not really. Not really. It's a very difficult language to learn. Before I thought that, oh, English is difficult, but now it's no.
Because what languages do you speak?
I speak, well, English, of course, a bit of Spanish. My own language is Cantonese, and I can speak Mandarin as well.
Okay.
So, yeah, because for Spanish, there's lots of conjugation. A lot of conjugation. Oh, it's so difficult to remember. Yeah.
Well, for us, Chinese sounds difficult. We can't even recognize the characters. Remember, they're using, at least in Spanish, using the same characters with a few different accents. So it's easier for us to read and enunciate. But
well,
coming from China, I get it.
True, but I was born with it, so
yeah.
Yeah. So it's fine with me.
So let's go ahead and wrap up here. But I appreciate you taking the time to speak with me. Is there anything else that we should know about Guatemala? Anything you want to tell people who have never been to Guatemala? And I'm going to, again, your channel will be flashed up here throughout our interview. But tell us what you think overall about Guatemala. Would you encourage people to come when the virus is over? I'm sure not now, but...
Well, it depends of what kind of experience that you want. If you just a tourist and you just want to go shopping, go to have nice food, take nice pictures, maybe it's not a place for you. Definitely don't come here. You get disappointed. But however, if you want to have different experience, definitely.
Well, you have to exclude. Oh my God, Antigua! You have to exclude Antigua then, because if you're saying take
Antigua actually is not that bad. Even though people say that it's a very touristic place, for me, it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
How? Not that bad touristy?
Not that touristy. It's touristy, but it's not that touristy compared to many other countries. Because if people that would like to experience Guatemala, definitely go to the lake. Go to Lake Atalan, because there's a lot of indigenous culture, and when you look at the lake, you don't want to leave. It's amazing, and it's a totally different experience. But if you are how do I say, because I have to say that the living standard in Guatemala is not the same as Canada or the States. So you have to keep that in mind, that it's a bit different. The standard is not that high. So, for example, what I have problem all the time is the water. When I go shower, the water is always not cold, but not hot enough. Like if you want to have a relaxing hot bath, impossible. Okay, the water is just for you to clean yourself, and then you go. And there's no heater as well. So it's pretty cold. It's pretty cold, especially in Shela. It's on the highland. So even though now it's August, it's just cold all the time. I have to wear socks in my room. I have to wear a jacket. It's just cold all the time. Yeah. So they have to know that, and also the buses as well, transportation. The buses is a bit messy.
Which buses? The chicken buses, or
not only chicken bus. Have you been to Mexico?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're in Mexico, if you go from state to state, you take a coach, right? If you take a coach, that you can just go online and search for the schedule and then book it there, pay it there, right? It's so systematical. But in here, no. Like you go to the website, you see nothing. Like nothing. They have a website, but nothing. You have to go to their Facebook page and look at the posts. Like, when are they going to have the bus? Like, what time they have the bus? Do they have that bus available? And so before that, I went to the bus station and then purchased my ticket the day before. Just speak to them directly, the old way. The people who have been here for a long time, they said, "Oh, you can just call the bus station and reserve a ticket. You just go there maybe a bit earlier to pay for it." Yeah. So you have to bear in mind that it's a different world. It's a different world, but it's quite a different experience. And then for me, for now, it's like I don't need that much. For example, I don't need to buy a lot of outfit. I don't need to buy a lot of fancy things. I can still survive. Yeah.
Exactly. That is something you learn when you go to countries like Guatemala or South America. You don't need as much stuff as you have. I know for here in the U.S., you don't feel that need to continue to buy a new TV set. I need a new telephone. I need a new outfit. I need an iron. Heck, you don't even need an iron.
Even in your country, you want to buy certain things. That certain thing is available, right? Mm-hmm. You still search for a better option, but here's only one option: you buy it or not. Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, Ada, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Is there anything else you wanted to tell our watchers before you go?
I think pretty much it. I think we cover a lot today. Yeah.
Yes, you did.
Thanks for having me, Rob.
No, thank you so much. It's the running fish. Look down below and you'll see it, I'm sure, throughout the video too. I'll make it. But thank you so much, Ada. You have a great day. I hope we can talk again.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.
All right. Bye-bye.
We have a YouTube channel. Like it.
Please comment and share if you liked the video. Please subscribe and kick the bell.